you guys know me. I'm probably going to fuck up like 19 times.
Never.
You seem on point tonight.
I'm going to do my best.
It wouldn't be us if you didn't mess it up.
Exactly.
That is true. That is true.
It would be so off-brand for you to get it right the first time.
Look, I'm going to be 100% honest. I listened to the official challenge podcast and I listened to Tori just fuck it up left and right. And I was like, I'm good.
So hang on. So question. So we all know by now that, or I assume everybody out in the fandom knows by now that Bananas and Cara, when they recorded for the Death Taxes and Bananas podcast, they actually recorded on the set of season 40, which is where they're currently filming.
Oh, so, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why they were on like a green screen thing. Like they were in like the production set up like an area in the house or whatever the hell they did, got a hotel room or whatever they did. And they went and recorded the podcast there. So here's my question. Do you guys think because currently Tori is also filming season 40, but she is also recapping All Stars 4 on the official, do you guys think that those were pre-recorded or do you think Tori is also recording every week in the house?
I know for a fact that Tori's is pre-recorded. That's how.
Do you? Okay. I think it is too. I think hers were pre-recorded.
I talked to some people before they that challenge, they was like, "Oh, I got to record," so that's pre-recorded.
Gotcha.
He got the tea.
I was gonna say I thought it was just because there was such a long lead up time for All Stars 4 coming out. It's not like they didn't have that shit ready.
Yeah, they could easily send her the episodes and then just, fucking knock out all the interviews in like 2 weeks and then be done with
Production hook me up with that so we can knock out all our recaps in like 3 weeks.
How cool would it be if right now on Friday night we were recapping episode 5 that would come out next Thursday and I would just drop it the day after it releases? You know what I mean? Like, be so sick. Oh, it'd be so sick.
I don't even know who to talk to.
We're not special enough for that. No. I don't even think like Zach and like the Zach Nichols podcast gets.
They might
early cuts like
probably
that.
You know what
I mean?
I know Bananas does.
Bananas definitely does. Official definitely does. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Zach works just off the live.
I listened to a little bit of them today.
They're such a good podcast. I don't care what anybody says.
I think they have a really great dynamic in the way Pierre hosts the show to give Zach kind of the floor to give his opinions on things. And then the way they interview people.
Oh, yeah.
Because Pierre asks some really good questions, but Zach is able to relate to the challengers on such a different level because of him being a former challenger.
Yeah.
It creates a really good dynamic. I mean, look, I know I just put them on a pedestal and go check out our Challengers Unplugged because I think we do a good job too, but they're a good podcast.
Yeah, no, they are. And Pierre's a really good host. I like their podcast though. What's going on in the world? Because all I know about right now is the Tortured Poets department. Well, what's going on in the world?
Well, I'm glad you brought up podcasts because the first thing I did want to talk about was Talik. He has his podcast, Mental Health Check-In with Talik. And what season are you on now?
Season 4, but I'm on a break.
Dude, they're always much needed. But guys, if you have not listened to his podcast yet, definitely go give it a listen. We'll have it linked below. He has some great interviews. He's talked with Kylan. He's talked with a bunch of different challengers as well as different people in different industries. Yeah, I could spend the next, 30 minutes kind of naming them all off. One of those guests is actually that man that's sitting, I should say, up there in the corner, Josh Chambers. They did an interview together and it was really good. I remember messaging you guys both right as it came out. So
yeah,
like I said, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. You'll really enjoy it. It's a true. How do I want to put this without sounding like an asshole, which I normally am? It's
it's such a great podcast that takes a look at men's mental health.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to say. It takes into account mental health for men, which is obviously a very underserved topic.
Yes.
So go check it out.
Go show some love. Go show some support. Go, follow, download the episodes, all that fun stuff.
All that shit. Anyways, real quick, I'm Ricky Hayes, beautiful wife Corrina Hayes. Katie, Bad Blood Pahura, Josh motherfucking Chambers, Talik, like I said, we're all jumping in. The Challenge Fandom Podcast. I had to get that out the way because I have one of those feelings that this night is just going to go how it goes, no matter how much I try to aim it in any certain direction.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I've got the feeling that we're going to be all over the place tonight. So
Never.
I wanted to get the intros out the way.
What are you talking about? We always recap in a very linear timeline. From start to finish.
Any squirrel moments.
Beginning, middle, end. No unnecessary information or opinions or talk.
Nothing about Taylor Swift. We don't do that here.
I was
Nothing
literally going to be
unrelated.
like, so how many songs are about Jason Kelsey on this new album?
2.
Jason,
It's Travis. Kelsey. It's
Travis.
Whatever.
No, don't whatever. The best tight end currently in the game. Super Bowl champion.
Honest, I like Travis, don't get me wrong, but I'm a bigger fan of Jason.
Oh,
Jason's awesome. It's
Yeah.
hard not to love Jason, though.
I know I know Leak is too.
Jason Kelsey is a national treasure. That man.
He really is. Yeah.
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 I see you representing with your Eagle shirt on over there.
Yeah,
Leak. So speaking of, if you're a longtime listener, you know I'm a Falcons fan. It's like
Where's
Hit the
Devin?
sparkle button. Hit the sparkle button.
I'm on the wrong thing.
let's not do the sparkle button for this.
Oh, okay.
It's
Do we need somber music for this?
wah wah wah. Look, the joke is, as a Falcons fan, you want all your pallbearers to wear Falcons jerseys so your team can let you down one final time. You know what I mean? It's a constant battle of being sad and disappointed. And yesterday they made a very shocking draft pick by taking Michael Penix in the first round with the 8 overall pick when we just spent $180 million on a quarterback, $100 million of it guaranteed.
Why?
Yeah, so it's
for 4 years.
For 4 years, yeah. With that being said, that quarterback is 35 years old, coming off an Achilles tear. So it's a weird situation. I might just go off the rails and cry. So just anything could happen tonight, and I wanted to get that out the way.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's a good thing that that Corrina has all these Taylor songs for you, Rick.
Yeah.
There's one for every feeling.
Just shake it off.
See? You can do that.
Bro, me and you've got bad blood already. It's going to be a cruel fucking summer. Good thing I'm going to be out in the garage with the lavender haze.
Nice.
Chilling with my lover.
I'm so proud. I'm going to cry.
Look, Katie's freaking out. She's so happy.
There you go. There's your Taylor Swift references.
Thank you.
So I really have no idea where I'm going with this.
I have something that I want to do because I have.
Oh, what do we want to do?
I have a button labeled on here and I don't know what it is,
Did
so
you
I want
put
to
that
press it.
sound
No,
on?
I did not.
Oh,
But
we still don't know what it was.
in case
No clue.
I know.
No clue.
I haven't put it on the road yet. I'll do it this week, so it'll be there for next week. But I did pull a Taylor Swift and I did leave an Easter egg to who the quote belongs to in the last video.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, but I want to push this button because I want to know what it says. Because I just have it labeled TJ mocks. So who's he mocking? I don't know. Let's see.
I'm over you, TJ.
Oh, okay. Nerys.
I'm over you, TJ.
I'm over you, TJ. I just saw it and I was like, TJ mocks. I don't remember what that is. I was like, I have to know what it is.
All right.
Okay, now we can move on because now I know what
Are
it
we
is.
good now?
We're good. I would have thought about it the whole show. I'd have just been like, what the fuck is that button? Like,
Josh, just quick question. Are you warm right now? You're like wearing a beanie inside.
Oh, yeah. And I'm also wearing my shirt backwards. So who cares?
oh.
Oh, I'm glad that the viewers are going to know who you are the whole time.
I got my TJ shirt on today.
I'm just asking. I know it's inside and it's warm. You're like me. We sweat profusely even when we don't want to. You know what had me sweating was this fucking episode of All Stars 4.
Ooh.
This one was actually, I don't know. This one was a good.
Can I just say, of all the recaps that Tony's going to miss out on, he's going to miss out on Stargets.
Oh.
It's a dumbass title.
Trying to make fetch happen. It's
not
going to
happen.
Not going to happen.
Sorry, Tony.
I'm not feeling the Stargets. Still not feeling it.
It's
feeling it even less now that they named an episode after it. I'm just
thank you.
This is
yes, took the words out of my mouth.
So I want to kind of go around and get, your guys' like overall view of this episode as we do every recap. So, you can give it a grade and we'll kind of go in and break down why we thought it was that grade. Because I think the first 3 episodes set a really high bar, and I knew they weren't going to carry it all the way through because eventually the nostalgia rubs off a little bit. But
yeah,
what would you guys give this episode grade wise?
I would give it a B+.
I think that's really fair. What about you, Katie?
I was going, okay, so this is the first episode. I don't want to rag on production, but that there was something I was like, oh, this is a mess up from my eyeballs.
Ooh.
Because I figured something out before it even happened.
Ooh.
So I got to give it, I'm going a C+.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to need more in depth on that here in a minute, but
okay.
prepare.
Here.
Yeah,
right
keep
here.
it ready.
I pinned it.
Josh.
This episode was all over the place, but it gave us a little bit of everything, so I give it a B.
B. Okay. What you got, babe?
I'm going to go ahead and rate this one a B-. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as episodes 1, 2, or 3. And I just felt like there were some things missing from this one. I just like the daily, it was cool and it was nostalgic and it was nice, but like it wasn't for the viewers. You know what I mean? Like for us to sit here and recap it, there's not a lot to talk about. And I feel it's the same with the elimination. I just wasn't super, it was funny. It was funny as hell. It was so
funny.
I
didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all.
But I didn't like the elimination, So I felt like they fell a little flat on the daily and the elimination compared to the ones that they've done thus far. And that just happens. Like you can't, like we said, you can't go, 13 episodes, a perfect season, and there not be like a daily where it's not as good as the other ones or whatever. So
no, I agree.
But I still think it was a great episode, honestly.
I'm gonna give it a B-. And that's just on a curve. And that's because the curve is so fucking high after episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Because those 3 episodes gave us everything we want as challenge fans.
Yes.
And you just can't. I have no complaints on those.
Yeah.
This one I did have some complaints on, but I want to hear why Katie gave it such a low grade. So what did you notice?
Well, not to be spoiler alert, but I figured out when Rachel went home before it happened because in our trailer, we got the Laurel Cara screaming match.
Oh.
And it didn't even happen.
Oh.
So
I didn't even put that together.
Oh, I did because I was like, I was so upset that Rachel went home. Like, again, spoiler alert. So as soon as they both got put in, I was like, fuck.
If somebody wants to talk about this more in depth with me, feel free to shoot me a DM, and that's for everyone on the team. I'm not going to give it up. But there was a foreshadowing moment in this episode that kind of gave away the season. And if you want to talk about, I don't want to go into it and ruin it for anybody else. It's only if people actually want to know.
Yeah,
they can message me. But
I know exactly what you're talking about because you pointed it out to me when it happened. Yes,
was it something someone said?
Yes, and a shot right after that. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, okay. So let's get into this episode. I'm stoked about it. We're gonna be like that movie Up with Doug the dog squirrel. Let's go. But yeah, let's rock and roll. Okay, so in the intro, we get the person that won the last elimination. They do the intro for the previous episode. I'm stoked because it's Rachel and after helping Kefla lift the 5-pound weights. Kefla with the 5-pound weights. That was fucking hilarious.
Sorry, he's officially said it on the show now, and he said it on the podcast too. So now I'm like, okay, now it has to be Kefla.
It is Kefla. And I'm such an anime fan that when I see it, I read it as Kefla because of Dragon Ball. And I apologize, but I do know it is Kefla.
We do love you though, Kefla.
Yeah.
No, that was really funny when she was like trying to help him lift like those little 5-pound weights, and she's like, oh, but for me, that was where the entertainment for their recap ended.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great. I still think it's gone downhill since Steve's.
Steve's was so good.
It started off real strong.
The hand job model.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, and this is so like weird to say because it's like, oh, like clearly I'm saying like, I hope these people like go into elimination at some point, but I hope we're able to see episode recaps from like some of the funnier people. Like I would love to see one from like, Cara would probably do a funny one.
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine would be hilarious. So I think Adam would be hilarious.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's still a few people that I'm almost Leroy would be so funny. My God.
Yeah.
So I'm still like, I hope you get sent into elimination, but I also hope you win because I want to hear you do the recap.
All right. So
before we move on too far, because I missed last week, I just want to say, I was awesome seeing Tina open up the show.
Yes, Tina was great. I like Tina's a lot.
She was good.
What I really did like was the song they opened the episode with Eve.
That girl? That's all I know of that song, but I know that part like the back of my hand.
It's
so good.
It's just a millennial clickbait on television. That's all it is. Just song after song to pull us in. I'm like, all right.
Yes.
Well, and you know what? To answer some of the questions that I have gotten into in the Instagram inbox, yes, we are going to talk about all the songs that we like that are on the show. And yes, we know you heard them on the episode, but we're still going to talk about them.
That's part of what makes it great.
They don't want us to talk about them? What?
If they don't want to hear us talk about the show, then don't listen to us talk about the show.
Why do we need a recap of the songs that were played? Because we like them. Okay.
Because it's MTV, motherfuckers. That's why. It's still on MTV. Okay. That is music television. In case you forgot what it stands for.
We should make a playlist of all the songs that have been on every episode.
We should. That's such a good idea.
They used
I have
to do
those
it.
Sometimes.
They used to do it. Like they did it.
Genius. You are a smart man.
They started.
I know what love is.
They started doing it around 34. They might still be doing it, like where they make on Spotify.
They used to put it online when you went on the website. Back in the day, when I came home and watched TRL, they'd put it on the websites.
Or the Worlds or World of World 2 was like banger.
Yeah, that's when they started making like, so if you go onto like Spotify or Apple Music and you just search like the challenge, what's the word now? What's it called?
Like soundtrack, maybe.
Thank you, soundtrack.
Something?
Yes. It's the challenge, whatever season and soundtrack. And then if they're still doing them. But I know like All Stars 1, All Stars 2 had them.
They can't even update their fucking website with press information. They're not doing that shit. Let's be honest.
Okay, well, they did. They
probably used to when they actually gave a fuck. They don't give a fuck anymore.
This is actually something that I wanted to touch on really quick because I am seeing a lot of like back and forth out there in the fandom. Obviously, we see in this next scene that like, you know, Tina does a confessional where she's talking about how Rachel had taken her star and given it to Veronica and how, you know, she doesn't really mind that because it's almost kind of a good thing because now she doesn't have that target. However, I am seeing seeing Rachel get so much backlash for doing this to Tina. And then with what ended up happening on this episode. So I'm curious, like, and I think I already know the answer, but I just want to hear some of your guys' thoughts on like the differences between what Rachel did and then what Tina did on this episode.
Turnabout's fair play. I mean, when you think about it, she took Tina's star and gave it to Veronica. Her bestie from forever, who she has a better relationship with, Steve. And I understand Steve protected her, but why didn't she just take Steve's and give it to somebody else who's in her alliance as well?
All right.
I don't know. I mean,
And what Tina said in this episode had no variance on the outcome. None.
Look, here's the thing. Rachel taking that star from Tina is actually a favor because when you have that star, you're a fucking target no matter what. And if you didn't think it was getting taken this week or last week, it's getting taken next week. Yeah. It's just the way it's going to happen.
Well, and I said this in a comment on Facebook, I think in like the Challenge fans group, where for me, I think, again, like you said, like it didn't bother Tina clearly. And she even said that, and you could tell that was an authentic thing. But
the way she reacted when
it happened,
like,
no!
I worked so hard for it.
But I also think, and, just prefacing this by, I am a Tina fan. I do like Tina. And I know everybody is like, I'm here to win. But I think even Tina knows she's not actually there to win the game. So the star isn't like a big deal for her. So I don't really think that it bothered her that Rachel took it and gave it to Veronica. Like, I think she clearly understood why Rachel did it. And I just don't think that she really cares. Like, she's still there. She's still safe. She's still got protection. She's still just hanging out with her girls and partying and living her best fucking life. And where are they? South Africa?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So fuck it, So, and I don't blame her at all. But I don't know. I think that Rachel taking heat for doing the star switch is a little much on the fans right now.
Well, to look at it this way, though, she took it from a friend and gave it to a friend. So what's the difference? If she's protecting Tina by giving it to Veronica, why is she not protecting Veronica then by giving her the star?
Well, and not only that, but it's not like she took it from one friend and gave it to another alliance member that's going to go after Tina. Like, she kept it within their whole circle. Like, Tina and Veronica are also friends and all, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I think that the fans are overreacting on that one a little bit. So calm the fuck down. Okay. You need to calm down.
You're being too loud.
Okay. Now I'm switching the subject. No, go ahead, Leak.
I don't understand why the fans are, mad because, like, if true fans know that Veronica and Rachel are, like, really, really cool, stuff like that, I could have swore, they dated before or whatever like that.
They did.
They did.
She has love for her, and I agree with Corrina. I think Tina is there to vacation and just get a check.
And I think Tina and Veronica are closer than Tina and Rachel. If I remember correctly.
I think Veronica, so for me, Veronica is kind of like the
anchor point.
The anchor point, right? And then Rachel and Tina, and then, sorry guys, I'm chatting apparently. And then Rachel and Tina.
I should just collect it and make a wig for myself.
You could at this point. Like, I am shedding
I look like
nobody's business.
Lord Farquaad.
You're too tall for that. Anyway. So this next moment, I was a little confused about.
I can't unsee it.
We lost Katie.
Sorry. I don't know why it got me so good. I'm back. Get it together.
Focus.
I'm fine. Okay, continue.
So no, I like this part really did kind of like, I caught it last week and I was curious about it and see if it was going to be a continuation. But basically, Nicole tells Kam that Cara feels she went against her.
Which I'm like,
yeah, how? Like,
how did Kam go against Cara?
I think it's just, honestly, I think it's Nicole stirring the pot. She doesn't really like Cara. Cara said it. Other people have said it. She doesn't like Cara. Laurel's in that house too. So it's going to turn into something like it always does.
Well, and that was my first thing, because I was like, if I was in Kam's position and Nicole came and told me this about Cara, I'd be like, how do you know? Because I know Cara didn't come and tell you that, because you guys don't like each other. Like, so that would be my first question is, how do you know that?
Well, and here's my thing is, like, I don't even understand, like, and I love Kam. Kam's one of my favorite players, but I don't understand why Kam's really that upset at Cara. Like, Cara basically gave her the person she wanted. She just couldn't vote both people. And multiple people said that, but by the time she voted, it didn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
So I have feelings on this one.
Okay.
Because I'm in the unpopular side. Like, Kam is not bothering me. Like,
Okay.
I know it's coming off as entitled to some people, but here's my theory behind it, and I could be very, very wrong. This is just my theory. I think so. Hypothetically, Cara and Kam are friends outside of the house, or so it's been alluded to. And I'm just thinking of it in the sense that if they're friends and they're this alliance, like I know we've talked about this before with other situations, but they're coming in as friends first. I think Kam was probably hurt that she's thinking Ayana's trying to get her out of the game. So she wants her vengeance to get Ayana out. So why doesn't my friend outside of the show have my back when I'm on her alliance? Like, that's where that's what I'm getting out of it.
I think it's very similar to the season 39 Horacio Olivia thing, where there's not a direct line of communication, where Cara should have gone and said, look, Kam, I want you to know this because I'll work with you all the way to the end. But I made a deal with Rachel that if I didn't say her name, she wouldn't take my star if she wins this elimination.
Yes.
And because,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we've talked about this 20 bajillion fucking times on this podcast. Transparency can fix so many issues that these people have in this house, because I think a lot of the fights and the bad reactions that we see, such as, Kam's reaction to Cara's, nominations last episode. Part of it, in my opinion, comes from being blindsided, and not knowing what to expect. So if Cara would have approached Kam before going into nominations and let her know, like, hey, heads up, this is what's going to happen. But clearly everybody else is blah, 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 like, you're still going to get Rachel Ayana. I just personally can't say her name, or she's going to take my star when she wins. Yeah. At that point, if Kam doesn't understand that, then
it is what it is.
Then it is what it is. You're not working with her this season, because that's just fucking ridiculous, But I think maybe just being in that moment and being blindsided publicly in that moment, expecting Cara to be the exact person, the main person to go with her vote perfectly, and for that to be almost like an embarrassing kind of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes, and I think that's a little bit of what Kam was going through in that moment. So
I get both sides, right? But I don't get if Cara voted last. That was said she voted last. Why didn't me? If I was Kam, wouldn't have mattered to me, because I would have to understand, like, Kam is playing for her child and Leroy, and Cara is just playing for herself. You got to look out for your own game and stuff like that. I know you want your friend to be here. I know you want your friend to help you and stuff like that, but she already was going in, so I didn't get what that problem was. But I kind of get why she wanted her friend to be there for her, but Kam, you are playing the game with your wonderful boyfriend, and y'all playing for your child. So that's that household, but Cara's playing for herself, so you got to play your own individual.
Yeah, it's like Devin said, having kids is a built-in fuck you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and not only that, but I heard when I actually heard a clip on Zach Nichols' podcast IG page today, where they were talking about, this kind of situation, and they had mentioned that it's a single winner.
Yes, it's an individual.
Okay, I wasn't sure if TJ had said that on episode 1. I couldn't remember. And so, that's the other thing is it's only one fucking winner. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Anyway, we don't need to get back into the whole Kam and Cara thing. I know we broke that down last week, and there's more to talk about later. So we'll move on. But really quick, before we hop into the daily, did everybody catch how the challengers literally hopped into the daily?
It was so cute.
It was like the duel something, duel 2.
Oh, so cute.
I forget which one.
I've never seen them do that for a daily.
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, Rick. They've done, yeah.
Really?
It was like watching a TikTok video.
Yeah, it was like a TikTok video.
It was, funny. But I enjoyed it. I like that it
was cute. I loved it.
It doesn't bother me when the challenge gets a little bit campy.
No, I love it. I think that's it's the bones of the show.
It adds to the novelty of it all. Yeah. It really does. I mean,
that's what the old show was. And I think that's what confuses me when old school fans are like, bring back the old show. We want the challenge back. We want the real challenge back. And then they're like, Hall Brawl. And I'm like, you guys know none of that shit. That's not OG at all in any way, shape, or form. And they're like, why are these dailies so fucking corny and boring? And I'm like, that's
what
the
they
old
are.
challenge. Like,
yeah, like you guys don't remember they used to sit on a giant record player and get spun off? Like that was the daily.
yeah, like literally dressing in chicken suits and then fucking
Pushing a bed.
transferring worms in your mouth from one bowl to the next bowl in your chicken suit.
Some American Gladiator, like the balance beams with the giant, like, I don't know, dumbbells you knock each other off with.
Running on stilts to fucking squeeze grapefruit juice out into a cup. Like, come on. Like, and so that's my thing is when people are like, oh, I missed the old challenge. I'm like, you don't miss the old challenge. You miss the golden age of the challenge, and that's never going to come back. That's why it's the golden age. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're never going to get the people that you had there. But anyways, I digress.
Moving on.
Daily, unbraided, reloaded.
That was awesome.
I like it. They're hitting on the dailies. Obviously, the intern that used to do the stats on World Champions has moved on to something else.
You're never going to leave that poor guy alone.
We've got some good shit going here. But basically, the idea of this daily is what they're going to be broken up in teams of 5 to 6. Is that what I remember?
I think it's teams of 5.
5. And they're going to be on the side of a double-decker semi. And they're braided up, and they have to undo the braid and then do a maze and get a peg all the way to the end and pull it out.
Yep.
And whoever does it first is obviously in the winner's bracket. Then you have... the two slowest go to the losers and then the one in the middle. In the middle does the voting, which I like the fact that they put the two slowest in the losers bracket to give you that larger selection field.
I do like that too. Otherwise, and they really could have, because some of these teams only had 2 girls, 3 guys. So if they end up losing, there's no girls to pick from because there's only 2. So they almost had to do the 2 bottom teams to give a little bit more, like, make it a vote. But I don't know. Personally, I liked this daily because of the nostalgia, but I also didn't really feel like it was viewer friendly to like watch. It wasn't something that was like exciting to watch. It was just kind of like I literally have no notes other than who's on what team, which color teams went against each other.
I have some funny quotes.
And I was going to say
there was a couple of funny quotes in here.
Yeah.
But
Flora.
Yeah, that was it. Flora, like Veronica's ass is just on my face.
I had Jasmine, and she said, I've got titties in my mouth, feet everywhere, butts everywhere, about to see Jesus, so just say my eulogy at this point.
Yep, I love that one. Mine, and it might even potentially be my line of the night, was Cara is screaming, ow, my vagina.
That is always a winner. Always a winner.
It reminded me of Anissa.
Yes.
Took me right back to it. Yep. Or what Mariah when she got vagina whacked.
Vagina whacked.
Yep. Took me right back.
I really did like these, like at least for the quotable. I mean, it wasn't viewer friendly, but it was fun to watch. Like
Can we just talk about really quick though? I'm so sorry, but Cara, Veronica, Flora, Brad, and Ace. How does not a single one of you know how to do a braid? I don't.
Cara has braids in her hair.
That's what I said.
Especially when Ace had done this in the past.
Yeah, on Inferno 3. Yeah, but I made the same comment about Cara's braids, and Rick was like, well, because they're not like, they're just, they're like extensions, braid? Or whatever.
Oh, some of them are.
I guess, yeah, they probably are, but I was just like, how does nobody know how to fucking braid? Like,
look, I'm going to be honest. I probably would have done shitty at this one.
Oh, I'd have murdered.
Just too much. You got 4 other people. Fuck that.
Oh, what was it? Someone was saying that Adam was, I think it was Rachel. She was like, Adam was like what did she say? He's like tackling me, or he's like a bowling ball, or something. I can't remember. She said something specific.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopping around like a spider monkey.
Well, and then you had Kifla, who was up there just like moving people. I was like, that's how you do it, bro. He was like, I'm done with you, motherfucker. Just you over here, you over here, you over here.
Also, guys, I know you listeners said you didn't want music, but I can't
do it. Do it.
Get it.
La 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 la.
Yes, such a good freaking song, man. Oh, such a good
Spice
song.
Girls.
Can we cut that and just loop it?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
thank you.
You're
Of course.
welcome. We'll be here all night.
What did you guys think of this daily? Did you like it? Not like it? What do we got?
I was bored.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right.
I watched my phone a lot. Like, kept looking at my phone because I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
I liked the dominoes a lot more last week. Domino
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, it was a
So-
lot more fun. But that being said, I will give a little bit of grace here because I can tell, like, if I put myself in that position, it would have been fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just wasn't viewer friendly to watch.
It kind of reminded me of on 39 when they had the ones where it was like the team of two and they were going in the circle. They had to get the hoops.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Like that was probably fun to do, but not viewer friendly. And again, it involved a semi truck. So
The one I always think of is I think it was either War of the Worlds 1 or War of the Worlds 2, I think. I know Swaggy was on it, so maybe it was Total Madness or something. Anyway, I don't know. But they had to lay on the top of the cars while the car drove in a circle and they had to try to get over. That one was, okay, Double Agent, whatever. It was like cool for them to do, but not fun to watch.
Maybe not. Maybe it was Total Madness.
I don't think it was Double Agents because I know
think it
Swaggy was there.
It was
So
Total Madness.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Total Madness because it was with the one with all the bombs and the shit blowing up all the time. And
Yeah.
remember, and the car went up on like two wheels and they had to get the math problems. It was just like cool to do probably, but it was so stupid and boring.
They
to
have
watch.
like 2 or 3 of those every season though, that where you're like, oh, I bet that would be really fun to do, but this is not fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going to scroll real quick and see what Twitter's saying about this shit.
Yep.
You know
Watch
what I mean?
Twitter rip this daily up for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, how the teams broke down: red versus orange, red won; pink versus green, pink won, and pink ended up winning overall. And Team Pink was Ryan, Kam, Laurel, Derek C, and Steve. And then the 2 losing teams was orange and green. So the people up for elimination, and it's a women's elimination, is Cara, Veronica, and then Rachel and Nicole.
No, Nicole's not.
Flora.
Yeah, I guess you're
Orange
right.
and green. She was on green. Just nobody
that's
ever
right.
talked about her.
Which is so wild to me.
She didn't get fucking brought up once.
Is so wild to me.
I honestly didn't even think she was in the bottom until this very moment.
Yeah,
And
because
I
she
mean-
was not a winner and she was not out there voting. She was in the bottom.
And Nicole doesn't even speak English. Like, how is she even playing a social game?
She started talking to Laura. That's why.
I was gonna say she's playing some kind of a social game. speaking
That
of
was
which.
the most cringe fucking shit
Dude.
I have ever seen. It was like,
Well-
it reminded me of being in like 10th grade.
Well, hang on really quick before we hop
sorry.
into that. No, you're fine.
Ugh.
I have a question because before we go back to the house right after the daily, we get a confessional from Cara. And this for me was my my foreshadowing for the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where she was
Heavy.
like, "Oh, I'm safe because I know Jasmine,
Heavy.
Brandon, and Jay will absolutely never say my name." And it's like almost anytime somebody says that in confessional, they're getting backstabbed.
Is happening.
Just before that, though, there was a little foreshadowing with Kam. Cam's like, I've never been on a winning team.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's
No,
true.
yeah.
There was
That's
a little
how
bit of foreshadowing, yeah.
That's how I knew Kam was going to win the daily.
100%.
And speaking of good music,
Well, mixed
all
up.
mixed up by 311 going back into the Are you kidding? Oh, they're killing it this season.
So
I'm
good.
so happy.
Okay, so here's
Wait.
the thing. Even though I don't like it, because I do like the idea of Kam and Cara being friends and working together in the show, because they are powerhouses. Like, Cam's ability to run the social game and the strategic game is far superior to Cara's. But I would say Cara is a little bit more endurance and physical as far as like eliminations and
Right now.
dailies. Right now.
Give her time. Give her time.
But they work really well together, and I like seeing them work together.
Yeah.
And even though I'm happy it's happening, because otherwise the only other fucking storyline would be Nicole and fucking Laurel. And this awkward, are they, won't they, will they?
It's so annoying. Can we, you know what?
Too close.
Just get rid of it already. Okay. Can we just get Can we get the Adam Avery sparks and love story? I would love to see the start of that. I would love to see that story. Okay. I don't fucking care about Laurel and Nicole. Don't care.
They're not going to show that story.
They should though, dude. And and
like,
I know that
they're flirting, they're doing their thing in the house right now too. So why? I don't want to see this. I want to see them.
I was told it wasn't shown on camera. It happened after the house, or during the house, but after the house. So
I heard that they didn't like start like dating until after, but you're telling me that they weren't flirting and there was no type of connection. There's no way, because you could see it in the daily.
Me and Adam are friends. It was a connection, but they not gonna show it. It really not gonna show it this season.
They should still give them like scenes of them talking, but that's just us
like,
because
we know what happens.
We know what happens, and it's fucking so cool. I love it so much.
It's my favorite thing right now. So
it's so cute.
All right, now this is the one that I really, really want to talk about. What I've been trying to rush the show through, because I feel like this is really where we are going to dive into things.
It's happening.
It's happening.
We kick off with a confessional from Brandon where he talks about how, Cara is his friend and she's one of those people that you can just like not see for like 10 years. And then when you do see her, you just kind of pick up where you left off. And he goes, but unfortunately, she is up for elimination and she might go in today. She tries to talk to him a couple of times to kind of feel out for what the winning or what the middle group is looking at for who they're going to vote. And, he keeps giving her the same kind of, PR answer, like, we're not talking about it before the vote. I'm like, Brandon, look, here's my thing. I don't mind at all what Brandon did. I don't think that what he did was wrong or bad or anything. But be honest, like, don't lie to her, though. Like, don't treat her like she's stupid. Like,
I just think it's Brandon trying to delay the inevitable. And here's my thing. I'm biased because I like Brandon. I think Brandon's a cool fucking guy. I mean, Talik, I know you and Brandon get along really well.
He's the best.
But I understand what he's doing. He's like, I don't want to deal with it before nominations. I'm going to deal with it after because then it's public and then I'm going to have to. So why do it twice? And
that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like Brandon's playing low key a great game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that he's ready to make this move, like he knows, like, fuck, we're getting Cara or Rachel out with this.
Well,
it's so smart.
Well, like he said, he's like, I'm gonna bet against myself before I bet against Cara.
Yeah. Well, and he also said, and what's funny is I specifically remember the moment where he did say this on our podcast. And I know he said it lots of times, but he did actually say it recorded on our podcast, is that if he ever got to go back on this show, he is going for strong players only. And it was a large conversation we had with him, and a part of why we never actually finished talking about all of the seasons he had been on. Don't worry, we're going to do that. But yeah, I just, I can't blame him. I can't blame him.
So, I know Brandon is my bro. I respect his decision, but I think it was too hard of an early move, right? I get it. You want to turn strong players in, but with these moves, you cannot miss with these moves because it can either bite you back in the ass or you just, gain from it. We'll see in the future. But like I told him, like, I get it, it is what it is, but it's just a lot because I get both sides. Wild card may be mad and whatever like that, but they're cool now and everything. So
yeah, and I mean, here's my thing: is like if they knew what the elimination was going to be, I think they make a different decision. If they knew it was throwing fucking the weirdest looking throwing stars I've ever seen in my life.
So corny.
What were those even?
Yeah. If they knew that, I think they go Flora and Cara or Flora and Rachel. I think they do that.
Instead of pissing people off. Yeah. No, I do agree with that. I don't know.
Look,
I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me.
The move doesn't bother me. What do you think, Josh?
It doesn't bother me. And like Corrina said, Brandon said, if he comes back, he's going for the best. And I mean, you have an opportunity to throw two of the best females in there to go against each other. Dude, take that shot.
But that's your friend. That's hard. If that's your friend, you got to think about this because you got to think about if you come back a future challenge, like people hold grudges and stuff. Like, you got to think about stuff like that.
I look at it from Brandon's perspective, though. Like, the last time he was on the show was Free Agents.
Yeah.
I know they've called him to be an alternate.
I remember what I was going to say now. Sorry.
But on top of that, it's the simple fact that you're going against multiple people that have won this show multiple times. And you got the opportunity to take one of them out. So you're kind of guaranteeing there's going to be a new winner. You do that. Yeah. It's very similar to what Kam did on Double Agents to me. Yeah. And just really quick. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say earlier. And then I remembered, light bulb went off.
She found it.
I found it. I just wanted to hop back really quick because I do see the argument of like, it's too early to make such a big move like that. But I did see somebody had a pretty good argument for that is like, we're only 4 episodes in at this point and they've already done a double elimination and TJ has already hinted that there will be more. So like, you never really know when you're going to get that opportunity and how often is Cara going to be in the losers bracket? Like, how many chances are you really going to get to put her ass down there and potentially send her home? And the fact that they had 2 strong women down there, somebody who could legitimately have taken Cara out if they had, done something different. You know what I mean? Like, it could have gone either way kind of a thing. And either way, you're getting a strong girl out, whether it's Rachel or Cara. I don't blame them for it. Like, you had the shot. I don't know.
That's the question. I know that Laurel wasn't on the chopper block. But everybody say Rachel's a big competitor. Cara, why Laurel name doesn't get mentioned? As a big competitor, she's good. Even though she did win, she won safe. I'm just saying, but they always say Cara or Rachel. That's what I've been hearing online on Twitter. And I was tweeting somebody. I was like, "What about Laurel?" She's a good competitor.
Personally, I think Laurel's the best competitor there.
Yeah, she's the GOAT in my opinion. Yeah. And it's the thing is she's won 2 dailies out of 4.
Yeah.
So she hasn't
been in the bottom.
The other one, yeah, she hasn't been in the bottom at all. But I also think it's a situation of if you're going to take a shot at Laurel, the only person you can really throw in there to try to beat her is Cara. And Cara doesn't have a great track record against Laurel.
Yeah, but at this point, like, they haven't been down there at the same time as of yet. So, You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. But like, who else is going to take out Laurel? Just like who else at this point, now that Rachel's gone, is going to be able to take out Cara? You know what I mean? So Laurel. Exactly. Yeah. That's the only
maybe
2.
Maybe Kam, depending on the elimination.
It depends on the elimination. I guess if it's like math or something, it could be anybody. But if it's something physical.
Hold on. What's 8 plus 2?
Sorry.
75.
I couldn't help myself.
792 plus 8.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, moving on. We're not going to get into the math jokes again. We go back to the club. This was actually something that did upset me a little bit. How are you guys feeling about Tina this season and her political play in the house?
I'm sorry. I'll let everybody else go first.
She had no political game, so it's like funny to watch.
I mean, Tina sat on her couch talking to us, telling us her social game sucks, and that she needs all the help possible to get to a final and whatnot. And she's fucking hilarious. But to sit here and watch her actually try to help is just you're my so friend. Cringe. I talk to you all the time, but come on, stop.
It's cringe. Just please stop. Yeah. Look, I'm sorry, Katie, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, that it's very much just like, they're there, honey. Kind of how, like, how she treated Adam when he said they were missions, not dailies.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like Tina's political game is the equivalent to being like, oh, honey. You're trying.
Yeah, bless your heart.
Bless her heart.
Here's what actually bothered me about it. Because, like, I think her political game, it's funny to watch. But there was a moment in this one that actually bothered me. And I don't know if I'm just reading too much into it. And so I'm curious how you guys feel. But Tina said, obviously we're talking about the moment when Jasmine, Tina, and Jay are all sitting down at the club. And they're talking about who they want to throw in. And Jasmine says she's going to do Rachel and Veronica. And of course, Tina gets super defensive. She starts almost like kind of threatening, like giving Jasmine a very threatening vibe. And then she says to her, You're being manipulated. She says, let me help you like I always have in the past. And I'm like, they've never played a season together ever. So when have you ever helped her in a game before? What? Like, and it just, I don't know. It was almost like taking credit for things that she had absolutely no part in. And I was like, why are we taking credit for? I'm just confused why that would be the approach. Like
maybe they had gameplay talk in between seasons.
Maybe. I guess
they
maybe.
were on All Stars 2 together too.
Oh.
And no, I don't know if she was on All Stars 3, Jasmine. I know Tina was.
I don't think she was.
Anyways, this is Tina's political game. That is her political game, is to, instead of like persuasion as far as let's come up with a compromise to help each other out in this, it's you're going to go my way or there's going to be backlash. And
she did it with Avery too.
Yeah, she did it with Avery. And then we saw how that worked. And now we're seeing it with Jasmine, and it's not going to work with Jasmine. Jasmine's not that girl.
She's too fiery for that.
And she should have came in with like, look, I can vote for one of them, but I can't vote for Rachel. So you guys set it up however you want. I'll go last, and this was what my vote will be. It would have been better for her to not get a target on herself like she does and still keep face with Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion.
Yep.
I feel like Dr. Phil tonight just answers.
I feel it. I feel the vibes.
Yeah. I'm bald with a beard, so I should just get rid of it. Just mustache only.
Can you talk in a Southern accent, please?
Bless Tina's heart.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying watching Tina this season. She's funny, but the political play, I'm just like, girl, again, you need to calm down. Okay, just tone it down a little fucking bit. Anyway.
Look,
it's the same old Tina.
Yeah.
It is.
But it's almost the same thing. Like every player has this one move that they always go to. Like in Kam is to put like a really big push on, like for everything. Like, and she does this when they get back to the house. I think it's like her, Jasmine, Laurel, and Avery. And she's like, oh, we should put really two strong women. Let's go Rachel and Cara. That way we get. And she does it every time, and I love it because she's not afraid to, pull the trigger on people.
I fucking love Kam.
Yeah, I enjoy it, and she plays the game the way I think I would want to play the game. I don't think I'd be anywhere near as good, but to a degree.
In my brain, I would like to be her, but in reality, that's probably not going to happen.
Probably not. But you never know. You never know. It's 21st century.
So Jasmine, Avery, and Brandon are all saying that they're on board for going Cara, Rachel. Jay is out. He says he's not going to say Cara's name no matter what. But he also does not go and give Cara a heads up or anything.
Nobody does.
Well, I mean, nobody that knew the plan did, but Ryan and what I think maybe it was Steve or something were like telling Cara like, hey, I got this weird feeling. It might be you, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Ace.
Oh,
Ace
it was Ace.
One of them.
You're right. It was Ace. Yeah.
Dude, that's impressive. Ace has been away from the game that long and to get a good read like that.
No, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I don't think Ace had a read on anything in this moment. I think Ace knew because as soon as Cara stands up and goes to go ask them, he says, I already know pretty much. Because she's like, why are we just sitting here instead of going and asking? And he's like, I already know pretty much, but okay. Like he knew what they were going to do. I think he was genuinely trying to give her a heads up without saying, hey, they're voting for you. They're going to vote for you, dude. So I don't know, but yeah, that just, what?
It's just interesting. And then they hit her with the same bullshit line, which, we're just going to go do it right now. We're just going to go talk. We're not going to
talk before nominations. Yeah. But we have to go in there right now. Like,
it reminded me of Old School Challenge. That's how they used to do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Just brush people off. Fuck them.
At this point, it's like, just tell them, like, I'm not telling you anything.
Exactly.
Just say that already. Because,
you can't sit with us.
Yeah, you can't sit with us. You lost. Okay, go sit with the losers. Bye. But I did like how they all came together to try to come up with a voting plan to kind of offset whatever Tina was trying to plan. But I also don't know why they put so much thought in it, because Tina is one person.
Yeah.
Okay, not voting for Rachel, but you have everybody else voting for her. So that's 4 against 1, boom, right off the top. Yeah. And Tina's voting Cara. So there's 5, right? So I was just curious why it became such a big deal, what order they voted in. You have the numbers.
Yeah.
I think maybe they were trying to give Tina the opportunity to save face, and she just didn't take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but look, I am still really surprised that Brandon pretty much kind of not necessarily orchestrated this, but pushed it through.
Yeah.
Like if he
done did it.
And I'm super impressed. And like, I even sent him a message. I was like, dude, I enjoy the way you're playing this game. It makes it super interesting and it's compelling TV. And I'm all for it.
Dude, he's more outspoken than he's ever been.
Ever. Yeah. Dude,
I'm loving it.
I fucking love it.
You know who else I'm really liking too? Avery.
Yes.
I love her.
I love how she approached this nomination ceremony, and she was like, I don't know where anyone stands. And then she asked Tina, and Tina refuses to vote first. And so she was like, all right, well, that answers my question.
Yeah.
Like, so it just blew my mind. Like, I don't understand. Again, I'm all right. I'm not going to get into the voting order. I'm not going to fucking obsess over it, but it's driving me nuts. Why?
No, yeah.
And on the other flip side of it, why was Tina so insistent on going absolute last? Like that was going to change
because she's the OG.
I don't understand. The one that gets me is, why didn't she just not say Rachel's name? It didn't matter.
At that point, it didn't matter.
She said for the peace of the house. What piece of the house? There's no peace.
She said, what did she said something about if she said somebody else's name, it would put a target on them. So
who else's name? She could have said Flora.
And that's like Flora, but that's what she's like. If I say anybody, it's going to put a target on me. So you're just going to say your friends.
What? That makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yes.
Y'all going too hard at my friend Tina here, right?
No, we love Tina.
But we got to talk about our game accurately.
Yeah.
Like,
the math isn't mathing.
Dude, 100%. I get it. She had no reason to say Rachel's name at that point. It was already done.
It wasn't even girl math.
No, it wasn't girl math. It wasn't challenge math.
It wasn't math.
It wasn't Cara math.
None of the above.
It wasn't Cara math. It wasn't any kind of math.
It kind of was Cara math because there was tears.
Wow.
Just being honest.
Oh my god.
Anyways, post noms talking about this is kind of where I get it. I enjoyed the show. This is what made the show for me, was after the post noms, and that was they find out.
Oh god.
Who's going in, and Cara, Rachel right there, and Cara starts to kind of flip out and gets loud.
Not kinda. She is fucking pissed. Yeah.
She's pissed, and she starts yelling at Jasmine. But I like how Rachel kind of played the balance in this situation. And she's like, it is what it is. And she's like, well, we're going to put on a show. And I was like, fuck yeah, you guys will, until we find out what the elimination is.
I love Rachel. Can I just say that? Because look, you could tell she felt some type of way about being voted into this, especially when Jasmine came up and was like, look, it's not personal. I don't know how you feel about it, and gave her a hug, whatever. You could see on Rachel's face, she had that fuck you, bitch. Like, fuck you. But at the same time, I love how Rachel handled this moment. She didn't freak out. She didn't get upset. She didn't start yelling at people. And then
so classy.
Even when she found out about Tina, she didn't go yell at Tina. She was just like, bro, like, what the heck,
so
man?
Calm, so chill.
I'm disappointed in you.
You made yourself look stupid. I'm disappointed in you. Like she was a kid.
These are good adult conversations though. Like,
yeah, it's the way it's supposed to happen.
And it's not belittling at all. It was an adult Communication, people, communication.
Beautifully done.
We love to see it. We love to see it.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna just be honest, and people, I know a lot of our listeners out there. I'm in the minority with a lot of you, where I go back and forth a lot on Cara, and right now I'm down. I'm a little down right now because this was super fucking cringe to me. Like, why be the badass that you are, and then also advertise yourself as the badass that you are, and then get pissed when you get treated like the badass that you are? I just don't get it.
I kind of wanted a montage like they did with Ayana talking, where they did the overlay. I wanted that of Cara's freak out.
That would have been funny.
So here's my thing, though. When Cara confronts Brandon and Brandon admits to it and she just walks away,
that was fine.
I completely understand that, because she did have that belief in Brandon that they were each other's number ones. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I get Brandon saying, like, I ain't seen you in 8 fucking years.
He didn't say see. He said, I haven't talked to you in over 8 years. And she's over here saying that he's the one she's most excited to see every time, and that they're super close friends and all this. So she doesn't understand why he would vote for her or whatever. But it's like, so you're saying you're super close friends and you're the most excited to see him every time. And he's saying you guys haven't even spoken in over 8 years. And look, this is where I have an issue. Would you fucking mind your business? This is where I have an issue.
Look at how beautiful those lips are.
Yes, I was putting on lip gloss. Is that okay?
I was just curious if you're using it as a prop.
No. So, okay. Well, now I forgot what I was even saying. So go ahead.
Her lips hurt real bad.
All right. So let me say this one thing, though. Cara and Polly visited Kam and Leroy in Vegas, and at the time, Brandon lived in Vegas. And you're going to tell me that Cara didn't look up Brandon, her friend, while they were in Vegas hanging out for a week? That's messed up, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, but I get what Brandon's saying, right? But I don't get it. I can't really go into details, but I just can't. I get what he did, but I just don't get why he did it and stuff like that. It don't make sense, because, combos I had, it just didn't make sense. I get you want to get a big player out, but even if like it's weird, because he said, him and Cara see each other that long, they go right back to seeing each other. It's like all cool. So why throw your friend in or vote her in when she's a strong competitor that can have your back in the game since you're number one?
Because she can beat you.
He flat out said,
fuck that. Look, here's my opinion, and I know I've said this a bunch of times. The challenge is no fucking place for friendships. And if you can't handle your friend potentially playing the game for themselves over playing the game for you or a friendship, then like there is not a single fucking person in my life, not a single one, that I would give up $250,000 for their friendship. Not a single one. Nobody. Mm-hmm. Not a single one. Like that's fucking college for my kids. That's house, and like that's so much of actual life versus like a friend that you text and see once every 8 years or whatever the fuck, So like for me, I can't hold this against Brandon. Like that doesn't mean he doesn't have dreams and things that he wants to do with this money too. I personally just, and this, like we see this issue so much, right? When people like come in with their friends and they try to play with their friends and stuff. I am just a firm believer that like, I got no friends. If I play the challenge, I got no friends. Like I'm a fucking loner. I'm Laurel. I'm a fucking loner. I got no friends. Do you have a question? Yeah. No, but I get it. And I totally understand why like Cara is upset. And I totally understand why Cara fans are upset. But I think just me personally,
some fans are crazy. We'll get into that. But
oh yeah, the Cara cult is out strong lately.
I think there's a difference between Cara fans and Cara cult.
Oh no,
there's a very distinct difference. Cara fans understand shit and rational.
Yes.
Cara cult
is out there strong, like I said.
Yeah.
They're going crazy right now.
Crazy, you're crazy.
But you know what? Hey, it's fine. I got no room to talk. As a Swiftie, I got no fucking room to talk. So no judgment. This is the part that I have seen people arguing about a lot, is Brandon, like you said, saying, oh, he's one of those people you could go like 10 years without seeing and then like pick back up right where you left off. And then also saying, hey, we haven't even fucking talked in like 8 years. So for me, these two statements are not contradictory because like picking up where you left off with a friend is different than playing the game, right? So, but I'm just curious how you guys look at that. Like, and I guess again, this comes back to what does an alliance in this game mean to you? Does it mean that you are always voting with each other 100% of the time, always? Or is it just like, I'm not going to say your name ever. You're never going to say mine. Or is it like, I'll do what I can, you know? And I think, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Did they ever actually have the conversation where they said to each other, like, you're my number one, you're my number one? Or was it just assumed?
Right. Yeah. And I know we didn't see it. So, I mean, we'll have to ask him when we interview him, but.
Brandon, there's not a problem that, like, you know, like him saying that and stuff like that. It's just that something I know he said, and it just like when you know this move, I'm just like, you know, when them moves, you gotta be when you take a move with anybody, you gotta make sure you like don't miss like at all, stuff like that. And I still think it was too early, but you know that's his game. He got kids, he's fighting for and everything. He got a family and everything, so like I get it and stuff. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. TJ love that shit, you know, when people throw. He does that shit when people for their favorite people and like people that skate to the end and everything. And Cara has before. I love Cara, but she has skated through and everything. So
yeah.
Look, here's my thing.
Like when she get mad stuff, it's funny. It's just good TV. Yeah, it's like over the top and everything, but it's like good.
Here's my thing: is at the end of the day, there's one winner. It's not a male and a female winner. There's one winner.
Yeah.
And if as Brandon is sitting there and he feels like he can't beat Cara in a final, then it makes complete sense to vote her in whenever you can. Now, yeah, you don't want to miss your shots, but sometimes shit happens. You can't really control that.
Right.
And, you know, but with that being said, I don't fault him. Like, if it was a male and female winner, then it doesn't make any sense. You just do whatever the women want you to do.
Well, and you would potentially want Cara in case that it was a partnered final, you know? So, but if you got to compete against that girl, no thanks.
No thanks.
Can we, before we actually break into talking about this insane fucking elimination, and by insane, I mean like hilarious. Can we just talk about what happened with TJ down on the arena floor? So he starts talking to Cara, right? And she starts and blah, blah, blah at Brandon and Jasmine and starts that little thing, whatever. And then he asks Rachel and she's like, I'm just collecting stars. And then she's like, she says, look, you can't be mad when people are threatened by you. And Cara starts agreeing with her. And I was like, girl,
Cara,
you were just
been mad. You big mad.
Honey, TJ and Rachel are talking to you right now. That's why TJ turned and said, yeah, as he looked at you. Like, it's a compliment, Cara. And I think that a lot of people don't. And I get it. I'd be pissed because that's scary. You have a potential, you potentially go home, you know? So I get where the anger comes from, but it was just like, it was so funny to watch her like be angry and just like fucking spitting knives. And then Rachel says this thing and she's like, oh yeah, I agree with that. I was like, what the fuck? Come on, Cara. I love you, but come on, man. That was nuts.
That was funny.
It was. I loved it. What did you guys think about this elimination, Star Slice?
You have two powerhouses going against each other, and you give them the weakest, dumbest elimination in the freaking history that you could have matched these two up against.
Look, if back on season 39, Laurel not getting her requested hall brawl against Michelle didn't prove to you that these eliminations are not pre-set up. This should have.
Here you go.
This should have fucking proved it to you because no way in hell would they have picked this for those two. Like, no, this shit was preset and that was just the one that it was. You know, like, yeah.
I would have loved to have them do last week's together. But Squirrel, did you guys listen to MTV's podcast with Rachel?
I haven't yet.
Part of it, not all of it.
She said that she dislocated her shoulder. There was one part where we saw her hop out and she held it and she said she had to like pop it back in.
No.
So this actually was a good thing for her. She was like, I was actually hoping that it wasn't going to be a physical elimination.
Wow.
It was interesting knowing that now.
You know what it reminded me of? when you go to like the state fair and they have those carnival games, you have to throw the darts at the
Yes,
fucking balloons.
at the balloons,
That's what
yes.
it reminded me of.
Yes.
Okay, so here's my thing, because obviously we saw, like, we heard Laurel like, oh, throw it like a dart. But then I'm also seeing, I don't know anything about throwing, like I've thrown darts before, but like axe throwing and all this stuff, I don't know anything about that stuff. So I've never done it, but I've seen people compare it to axe throwing, but those stars seemed really fucking small and light. So they're like, oh, they should have been using two hands to throw like you would
Maybe
with
on
axe.
the bigger ones.
But I was like, they seem so small and light. I don't know. I probably would have done one-handed as well. What would you guys have done? What have you done?
Obviously one-handed, but look what happened when they were throwing it one-handed. It went over the thing. I mean, you have everybody yelling, what?
Dude,
The cat screeching. Oh my God.
Kara's first fucking throw
God.
that went off to the side, and when she turned and deadpanned at the fucking crowd, I fucking lost it. Oh my God, that was the funniest part of the whole episode to me.
It was good.
That was her saying, this can go anywhere, including back there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was really funny.
It was like Justin Booth was back there or some shit.
It was real funny because I ain't gonna lie, like when elimination started, before elimination, Cara pissed me off, but I don't want to get it. I don't want to get taken by them stands. Them stands are crazy. It's something she said that pissed me off. Like this.
Are you going to tell us?
What was it?
Are you going to tell? You going to tell us? Let me get my tea towel.
When she accused Jason of being aggressive, I didn't like that. She wasn't aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, come on, Cara, you got to read the room, girl. You got to watch what you say and stuff like that. But you know, she gets into her entitlement, like she shouldn't go in. She should skate to the final.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get it. They did that to Johnny. They sent Johnny in on World of Worlds and everything. So, like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Look, and it's because I think Cara still looks at herself internally as the girl that was on the challenge those first 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And she doesn't look at how everybody else looks at her as you're one of the GOATs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're up there and you're a real threat in any fucking season, no matter if it's male, female winner or one winner. You know what I mean? So also, I wanted to say this before I forget. Those stars, they had like 4 different sizes. They had a mini size,
yeah,
a little bit bigger
big,
one.
yeah.
They had 4 different ones. So on the bigger one, yeah, probably 2 hands. But those other ones, one hand them. Even those small ones, I'd probably fucking underhand them.
I feel like I would have tried everything.
To throw it like a dart, or for anybody to say to throw it like a dart is totally wrong. There's no way it would even hit the board.
Like a frisbee.
Yeah,
Talik.
like
I like that. I like that. I'd have tried that too.
I would have hit it like I was Bruce Lee. I'd be like, bah, bah.
How? Yeah, just
fucking. I'd be like, no, let her go like 4 times and let me just go real quick. I'm gonna rapid fire this shit.
And I mean, look at it though. There was 5 points scored, and Cara scored 4 of them.
Unintentional. I don't think she was aiming for anything.
No, honestly. I don't think any of them were on purpose.
I think they were just hoping they hit the board.
That last one, she's super concentrated. She did the one eye thing.
Oh, that shit was so overproduced. TJ, this could be it right now.
I wonder how many times they said that.
Why didn't he say that to Rachel? Because Rachel, there was 2-2, and Rachel threw right before that, and nothing was said. But Cara gets up in there, and he's all like, here it is. It's for the win. Let's go.
But no, because in the edit, that doesn't mean he didn't actually make comments to Rachel, and they didn't just edit it that way because they knew Cara won. And that's kind of how I see those moments is like, I try to remember, like, if he says something to someone but not someone else, like, I just try to remember, like, oh, maybe it wasn't TJ being an asshole. Maybe it was just the way they edited the episode. Because TJ loves Rachel, so I couldn't imagine him not cheering for her.
Right, that's what caught me off guard.
You know, yeah.
You know what I really liked was that Cara made one of the shots while she was standing on one foot.
Yes,
like that shit was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, it would be Cara to make it more difficult on herself than succeed.
So
not once, but twice.
Yeah.
What's everybody's overall grade for not just the elimination, but like how they set it up with the different, what would you call them? Like, I guess I don't know. What did I refer to them as?
Like wild cards.
Decoys. Oh, yeah, I like wild cards.
Yeah.
I thought it was dumb that there was just random stars that did nothing. Like, make it where it's like your opponent loses a turn or you gain a turn. Or,
Yeah, come on, guys.
They had those.
No,
But yeah, the star
they?
itself, yeah, they had lose a turn. They had
nobody hit it.
nobody. Yeah, they barely hit the board.
They hit fucking 5 cats in the parking lot, but they can't hit the fucking board.
You're right. They hit the edge a lot.
They did. They did hit the edge and the bottom.
One landed on top.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
true.
Christ.
Yep. It was interesting. It was funny to watch, but there's just not a whole lot to talk about for it.
Speaking of who was down there and with the elimination as a whole, it was just such a letdown, but at least I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, that's very true.
Obviously, Cara ends up getting the win. So this puts her at 20 eliminations, and she is now, I believe she's 14-6 total, which is fucking wild. That's a wild elimination record, no matter who you are. But with that being said, she gets the opportunity to take a star.
And she doesn't take a star. She's given Rachel's because Rachel.
I'm sorry. Yeah, given Rachel's, but she gets a star. And now she has to assign it to another woman. And I wanted to know what's your guys' opinion on her not giving it to Laurel and giving it to Jasmine and the whole reasoning behind it.
I'm going to go last. So you guys have fun with this
All right. So when she looks up to Laurel and says, "Hey, Laurel, how you feeling?" I was just like, "Oh, yeah, let's go." But then she's just like, "Well, let's just put a Stargate on somebody's back." And I'm like, "All right, Jasmine of all people? All right."
I don't know. I think Jasmine's the wrong move. I think a better move would have been give it to Kam. Yeah. Because if you give it to Kam, you're mending a bridge right there. And you're also putting a target on Kam. Because at the end of the day, we're getting towards the point of the game as far as many women have gone home already, that now you're looking at, I don't have a star. I need to get one. Who's going to be the easiest person to get it from?
I think, I feel like she's playing a little bit of a scared game here. And maybe I shouldn't say scared, but she even said, she's like, oh, do I give it to a strong person?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I give it to... And she didn't finish the sentence. But I feel like you're just trying to... I don't know. I think she's playing scared because if she goes... If something happens... coming up where she's in the bottom and she's voted in, she wants an quote unquote easy option.
But here's my thing is that going into elimination has nothing to do with your having a star. So it has to do with losing the daily, right? So here's my thing and why I think this was the dumbest move that Cara could have made in this particular moment. I see what she was trying to do, trying to create a target on somebody who she feels put the target on her and that she's like beefing with in the house. But again, nobody has to beat, you don't have to bring a star holder down to elimination to beat them to take their star. So if you go down to elimination and you win and you have the choice to take Cara
or
Jasmine, or who has the other star?
Veronica.
I can't remember.
Veronica.
Or Veronica's star.
Yeah.
Who do you want to go to the final with?
Veronica.
You want to go with Veronica and fucking Jasmine. You're going to take Cara. So I personally think Cara would have done better to create another strong target because right now she's the only strong target that has a star. And all somebody has to do is beat somebody down in elimination and then take it. And you're no longer in the final.
And it's the fact that Cara has nobody in this house right now.
Yeah.
If you look at, she just got strong armed into this elimination. Nobody was cheering her on during this elimination. And it's even mentioned by Kam during that.
Yeah, she felt bad.
Look, you give Kam that fucking star.
Yep.
And when you give Kam that star, you're mending your bridge and you're getting part of your social game back.
Because here's the thing on top of that. You give Kam your star, right? So, and then down the road, somebody's like, oh, let's send the 2 strongest star holders in against each other again. You're now going in against Kam. And more than likely, Cara can beat Kam. Unless especially if it's something physical or endurance or something like that, I'm 95% sure Cara would win something like that right now. So it's like you're still putting yourself in a position where you're creating a big target mainly because of her social game and her connections. But you're also leaving yourself in the position where if you have to go against her, 8 times out of 10, you're going to beat her. So I feel like this was a big oversight. And I feel like Cara acted off of emotion and went for a revenge in this moment instead of thinking logically.
Yep.
Just my
Nailed
opinion.
it.
I agree with you because I feel like it's a good move. I mean, her stairs don't kill me, but I feel like it was a good move for her and everything. And she definitely did F off emotion. But if I was in her boat and my friend Brandon or just Cam, just whatever, y'all can get no star from me. That's just me. I'm just petty. I'm a tourist. I'm a Philly.
I respect
I'm just
that.
petty and stuff like that and everything. But like now that y'all explaining like the star, like she would have gave it to Cam and now I get it. Because first I was like, okay, I get what she did, but now I'm just like, damn, that is stupid that she did that. Her stands don't kill me.
Because who's going to take the star from Jasmine? I never would. I would let that girl ride all the way to the final with that star because at least now I know I'm not getting last place. Like I know I can at least beat Jasmine. I know I can beat Veronica. So I'm not touching those 2 stars.
I feel you though.
Yeah, I don't think I could beat Cara, so I'm definitely taking that star, so.
I could be Brandon. I could, that's me. I could be Brandon. I would, I see why his star got together because he elimination king, but I just Cara, she just by herself. I feel like she just had a fucking moment. She just by herself. She just got screwed over. So I'm just like, don't care no more.
She legit had a fuck you moment, and
she's shooting from the hip the rest of the season, and that is primetime Cara right there. That's where we're gonna get the best out of her.
I'm excited to see it. Honestly, like look, I know that. Like, okay, I don't want to say like, oh, I miss like when Cara didn't have any friends in the house. I'm not saying that at all, but I like Cara. I like watching her play. I like watching her play as the underdog because there's just a different kind of fight in her and a different kind. It's just a different level. It's like that switch, right? So, but when she's perfectly safe and she's surrounded and stuff like she was on War of the Worlds too, it's too much, and I can't. It's too much for me. So I don't know. I'm actually like, as much as I know all the Cara stans are like, what the fuck right now? I'm actually excited to see her tackle this season without having a lot of allies on her side. I think it's going to make it really fucking interesting. And the good thing is she's actually physically, ready, I think, more now than she was in her younger seasons when she was the underdog. So.
Like Brendan said, her arms are bigger than his.
Yeah. Girl, yeah, dude. Exactly. Craziness.
All right. So before we...
Cara stand's going to get y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We talk a lot of shit about Cara on here.
Look, but we love Cara.
We love her. We just call people on their shit.
There's nothing that they can do.
No, Cara stands ain't shit. I'm just saying, y'all are mean and evil. I was just gonna put it out there. What y'all did to Jasmine online, y'all ain't shit. Y'all evil as hell. I still love Cara though, but them stands are fucking evil.
Yeah. Look, bro, I like Cara. I really like Paulie. I talk to Paulie fairly often, but I do not fuck with the Cara cult. And I've had run-ins with them. I don't give a fuck about them. Let them do their thing, but I don't fuck with them at all.
What talking about? When did this happen? Like during War of the Wars, right? When Josh said it, that's when it happened. The Cara cult.
It started.
Cara cult is just her crazy, insane fans. It's just like a nickname for her crazy, insane fans.
It's wild. But anyways, before we get into our MVPs, I want to ask, did you guys see the preview for next week and what the daily is going to be?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
I am so fucking excited about it.
It's going to be great.
I want to do that one.
What was that from? Was that the Duel 2? Or
it looks like fun.
No idea.
What season?
I don't even remember it. I just remember seeing it.
Was it fresh? It wasn't fresh meat, was it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But anyways, they're going to be doing the luge with the fucking bobbleheads.
It's Duel 2. You're right. Yes.
Okay.
So it's Duel 2. And the daily was called Luging Your Mind. And they put on the giant bobbleheads.
So great.
And then they rode the luge. They had to run up the hill and then ride the luges down. And then complete a puzzle, and they did this in pairs. That was on Duel 2. So yeah, no, you're right. I do remember now the big fucking things that they're gonna be in. Mm-hmm.
Look, it all came back to. It's all coming back to you now. That was not not on the episode, but it could have been. You're welcome.
All right. So
now I want some meatloaf.
Ma, the meatloaf.
I would do anything for the other meatloaf.
No.
Oh, sorry. Let's get into the MVPs. Who is your guys' MVP for this episode? Josh, who you got?
For men, I have Brandon. For women, I have Cara.
All right, Leek, who you got?
For women, I have Cara. And for men, I have Ace.
All right, I like it.
Nice.
All right, Katie, what about you?
Shit. I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. That's horrible.
Karina, who you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna piss some people off with this one. But I will explain myself. And I have a good explanation, I promise. So for the men, I'm gonna give it to Brandon because I think he just absolutely rocked this episode. And then for the women, I am actually going to give my MVP to Rachel with a very, very, very high shout out, honorable mention to Cara. Just because Rachel is fucking amazing. She handled this whole situation like an absolute queen boss bitch that she is. It was such a pleasure to see her back on TV and competing and mentoring other players again. Like, it was just so cool to see her again.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously not going to get a chance to give her an MVP for the rest of the season. So since Cara will be here for a while, and I am sure I will have plenty of opportunity to give her an MVP, I am going to crown my girl Rachel today. So there we go.
I'm going to kind of echo that. I don't have a men's MVP. Honorable mention to Brandon, but I've got co-MVP for the women. It's Cara, Rachel.
There you go.
Pretty much for the exact same reasons you just said. And first time seeing Rachel back since X's with Anissa. One of my all-time favorite players. I remember watching her on Campus Crawl, Road Rules when I was like a fucking junior in high school. So shout out to Rachel. Hope we get to see her again. And there you go. Katie, now it's your turn.
I don't want to copy you guys, but I'm going Rachel because, like you said, we can't say it again. And I'm really mad. I have all of the feelings. I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm all of them.
Yeah.
But also, she just had a funny line of the night, so I'm going to give her my line of the night, too. And it was just silly at the end when she said, I always wanted to like you guys when I said goodbye, and now I do.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. I love her.
Especially because I feel like her exit interview, the way I don't know if we're going to see her, and then knowing that she hurt her shoulder and she does fitness for a living. I'm like, I don't know if she got a chance coming back. So
if there's an All-Stars 5, I think Rachel comes back.
I hope she does.
Especially if the Godfather's there.
Please, if you're listening, Rachel, please come back.
I'm going to say Rachel for my line of the night, too, after Cara has that big implosion in front of TJ. And she's like, I'm here for all the stars. Just give me all your stars.
Collect stars.
That's the one. Yeah.
Even just the inflection in her voice, the way she says it. I'm just trying to collect stars. Like, I love her so much. I love her so much. Amazing. My line of the night was the Ow, My Vagina by Cara. Classic. It's going on the board, honestly. It's probably going to be on the board.
It's a good idea.
It's going to be our new harp, our new glitter button every time. Ow, my vagina. Never mind. I was going to say something, but I'm not even going to do it.
And that's where we end the recording.
Save that for Patreon.
That's behind the paywall.
And not OnlyFans.
It's only for our subscribers on Instagram.
Yeah, got to subscribe on Instagram for that one.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, I mean, that pretty much wraps up the show.
Yeah, I mean, this one was kind of an easy one, but it was a fun episode still.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm still so much enjoying All Stars. Oh my gosh.
So, well, I mean, that pretty much wraps it up. Like we said, Lee, thank you so much for joining us and breaking this all down with us. We appreciate it. And like I said earlier, if you guys haven't, go check out his podcast, Mental Health Check-In with Talik. Like I said, we'll have it all listed below. Talik, do you have anything else you want to plug or talk about before we get out of here?
No, I just want to say thank y'all for letting me come over here. This is fun.
Dude.
times. You know, this, to be honest, I'm watching All Stars. Didn't watch 39 or before that, but I'm definitely watching All Stars. Yeah, I definitely did.
Nice.
I like to see the old people. I like to see the people that we haven't seen before. So I'm just All Star fan.
Nice. That's awesome.
No, it's a great season, and I'm glad you could come on and join us and recap with us. But I mean, guys, that locks it up for tonight. So for myself, Ricky Hayes, my beautiful wife, Corrina Hayes, for Katie, Bad Blood Bahura, Josh motherfucking Chambers, and Leak. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to download this episode and rate us 5 stars. If you don't, you're a hater. And if you're not going to rate us 5 stars, send a message to Tony at Biodomer on Instagram. Night, y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.